Lesson number 31, step by step. This has been instrumental to my journey with my athletic pursuits, with podcasting, with whatever I've been trying to do. If I'm standing at the base camp of the Everest and I look at the tip, summit of the mountain, what's in front of me is unfathomable. I can't comprehend it. I can't even possibly think in my own head how I'm going to climb there. But how is not your domain, right? As long as you see yourself at the finish line, that's all you need to know. How, you will figure out. Just focus on the next step. You might not know how your journey is going to go and how you'll end up there, but you always, if you find your voice, if you have clarity on your why, you will know your next step and just focus on that very next step. Steve Jobs said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. Someone as Steve Jobs, even he didn't know how he will make the iPhone or Apple to where it is now, but he's only able to tell it once he summited that mountain, then he's able to track back and connect the dots backward. So don't try and know everything because you wouldn't, right? That's why you're going into the unknown. Just focus on the next step, and before you know it, you'll be at the summit of the mountain.
Yes, sir. So, and this is something very important that we need to understand in order to do anything, whether it being successful, happy, whatever it is in life you want to do, you need to be soft on others, but hard on yourself. And this is again a very stoic concept. I've personally lived by this my entire life because I've never been that person who's nagging, complaining, etc., etc. I have always been that person, and this has worked with for me so well in life. And that is, I put everything on me. Um, so much often in life we try to be dependent on others, and we try to look to others for things to get done, etc., etc. But if you look at it, the base principle, everything that you need in life or everything that you want in life to be done, it must always come from you, and you should be the one always hard on yourself, and not to be putting or projecting things on others. Right, others will do whatever they're supposed to do because they also have a life and path to go on and live. However, the things that you want it. For example, the goals that I have are going to be very, yeah, both Parmeet and I will have our mutual goals, but I will also have my personal goals. Now, Parmeet is not going to have, and it's very hard and it's be very unfair for me to expect him to have the same amount of interest, passion for the goals that I have. Vice versa with me as well, right? So, in anything in life, be it at your work, be it with your friends, your relationship, anything at all, right? Whatever you want to achieve, whatever it is that you want to do, you need to be hard on yourself, and again, be self accountable.
Amazing. Lesson number 33, standardization comes before optimization. When you're starting something new, let's say you want to have a productive life, you want to start building a productive life tomorrow. Can't be like, I'm going to wake up early, then I'm going to practice gratitude, I'll meditate, I'll go to the gym. Don't try and optimize a certain habit or a certain things until it's become a standard. Make it a habit first, make it a standard, do it wrong, but just get in the habit of doing it, right? Do it wrong, but just get in the habit of doing it. Once you're in the habit of doing it and it's become a standard, then optimize and go from wrong to right. Don't try and do it right the first time around. Do it wrong, get in the habit of doing it wrong, and then do it right. So, standardization comes before optimization. That is the only way it's going to be sustainable. On to you for lesson number 35.
Lesson number 35 is brought to you by Mr. Anirudh. And Anirudh told us that whatever it is something that you need to do in life, you have to be obsessed about it. There is no half assing it, there's no half footing it. You need to go all in, and you need to know why you want it, and you need to want it bad, basically. And I think this is something, again, that has been a common theme in regards to the athletes or the personalities that we've discussed. everyone was obsessed about it. Everyone was just, like you said, curious, hardworking, involved, passion. Everything was involved inside of it. So this is something, yeah, I see that it's still very, very quite relevant and still will be.
Amazing. Lesson number 30. I can't even remember what, 35 or 36. But
Yeah, I
action.
think we'll just add some numbers or something.
Yeah, we'll add the text. But anyway, actions over thoughts. Uh, every human has a mind, I hope, a brain, and the nature of the mind is to have thoughts and to occupy you. Every time it's occupying you, you're either living in the past or the future. It's the thief of the present moment where happiness and everything you want to achieve lies. Focus more on being action, taking action. If any action doesn't have severe consequences that will stick by you for the rest of your life, keep taking actions, make mistakes more and more. Don't try and think so much and make it perfect and do it right or whatnot. It's going to go wrong anyway, right? So keep taking action without much thinking and reflect on that actual experience rather than just thinking of that experience.
Absolutely, and this brings us to the next lesson, which is brought
36.
to, yeah, is brought to us by Mr. Umar Jahangir, where he says that it's better to try and fail, and we've been talking about this in life. If we try something, of course, you are going to fail. Of course, failure is expected. We should always start a thing by thinking that we might fail, but we would never know if we don't try. So that's the most important thing. It's better to try and fail than not trying at all.
Amazing. Lesson number 37, manipulate your environment. This I credit myself very well. I think I've been able to do this very well. Wiser Together is this podcast as well as a manifestation of this very point that we're mentioning. Manipulate your environment. If I can manipulate my environment and have certain energy that keeps me accountable again and again, if Wiser Together wasn't there, I wouldn't be back to this energy time and time and again. And we might not have achieved what we want with this podcast, but certainly in our lives, it's done us so many good. We've grown so much outside of this that the value has been tremendous. So manipulate your environment in a way that brings you back, reminds you of the energy and the things that you want to be reminded of. This can be as simple as putting a paper in front of the on a wall somewhere or where you work or in your on your bathroom mirror, or having certain, like this podcast, no matter how I'm feeling or what I'm going through, we have to show up, talk about these things, and then that brings me back to this energy and again. So manipulate your environment in a way that brings you back to where you want to come back to.
I'm just going to take a minute and talk about how important this has been for me as well, ever since moving to Dubai. And why I'm talking about this is that because back in Pakistan, I'll share my own personal experience. I come from Pakistan, Karachi. We did not used to have water, light, gas, etc., etc. You guys have no idea how detrimental that was. Even to my friends right now living in Pakistan, when you have this pressure, when you have this tense energy that, oh, you're not going to have electricity in the next 2 hours or 4 hours from your 24 hours, it just really brings you down. So having a very an environment that is suited to your growth, and I'm not talking about having the most fanciest things in life, fanciest laptop or workstation or like I don't know, I mean, like, it's just sometimes it's just about having those basic things, right? You need to have a basic environment, a basic setup, a very productive, it just adds to your productivity, basically, is what I'm trying to say. When those things add up, they really do. At the same time, when you don't have those little its and bits and pieces of things, they take away from you. And again, at the same time, it may not seem very significant on the surface, but if we bring in the concept of compound interest or compound adding up, then they just really keep adding up. So definitely manipulating your environment, having this podcast, feeding off each other's energy, feeding off the energy of our guests, those ideas and everything that we're sharing, it has been insanely valuable. And I think the credit goes to you, Prameet. Of course, you're the one, this is your baby, and you're the one that came up with this idea, and I cannot be more thankful for the values that you've added to my life as well. And now I'm going to come to the next point, which is that this is something Mr. Jordan Peterson talked about, and that is in life, you know, life is one thing that you're committed till death. And it's just such a profound concept because you're going to die, everyone is going to die, and life is a commitment, it's a sign up that you've done, and you can't get out of it until you die. So that's just something everyone needs to understand, that everyone is going to die. Nothing that we say, do, that you think should matter in a wrong way would matter in about 100 years. Alex Hormozy talks about this, because in about 100 years those people will die as well. So go out, do the things that you have to do. It's a commitment that you've already done, you can't back out of it, so might as well make the most out of life.
Amazing. Which brings me back to lesson number 39, which is chase discomfort, chase hard, chase unfamiliar. Only by going into the unfamiliar, unknown, things you don't know, being blindsided, being a learner, being a child, will you actually learn and grow. You don't grow in staying in your comfort zone. You only grow by challenging your limitations, going into the unknown, and resisting and finding your comfort in that discomfort. That is real growth. When you step outside it, your comfort zone grows as well. What was uncomfortable tomorrow is comfortable today. And you can look at so many things in life that you've done which were uncomfortable tomorrow are comfortable today. So similarly, what's uncomfortable today will be uncomfortable tomorrow. So just go with that idea and keep following that to grow tremendously. On to you, Anas.
All right, Mr. Jules talked about in one of our podcasts, he talked about the importance of breathing. As we all know that he is a Wim Hof certified instructor, and he basically gave us a very good nugget, and that was that, look, we can survive without eating and drinking, but it's very hard to go more than 5 minutes or 4 minutes without breathing, right? And that really shows you how important breathing is, just a little bit of realization. And that's because we always take breathing for granted because it's very subconscious. Most of the time, when you're breathing, it's very subconscious. Even right now, we're 53 minutes into the podcast, but I haven't taken a breath cautiously, right? Because it's just something that we do. What he said is that we need to convert our subconscious breathing into functional or conscious breathing. And that's something Parmeet advocates also most of the time as well in our meditation series as well, and that has to do with the breathing meditation. So just converting your subconscious breathing into functional breathing has insane amount of benefit. I won't go into the detail, but of course you can check out our Wim Hof episodes. There are a couple of them. Also check out Wim Hof's breathing method as well to understand all the benefits.
100%. Breathing is so critical, important. It's a superpower, again, like meditation. It's a gateway to presence, it's a gateway to your own physiology and understanding your body. Again, we won't go into the detail, but I wish we could. But there's so many breathing techniques and ways that you can look into that will benefit you.